So what a day then. We came in search of tractors and bikes and bought a bright orange Jeep with a tarmac whacker thrown in for free. There's a moral in there somewhere, if only I could work it out. 3 days later, the goods are in the paddock. Isn't it cool?
Yeah,
hey?
Great. It's nice and utilitarian, isn't it?
Man, it's fantastic. I think we should create it as a military vehicle, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, even though this is post-war, they must have done them to military spec for military supply.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I kind of like the kind of sort of American logo, you know, the star on the
Yeah, me too.
I mean, why not?
Put some spades on it and some spotlights.
Yeah, I think that's how it should be, really. Should we go for a drive? I'll tell you why I want to go for a drive as well. Well, there's many reasons. One, to have a giggle with this. And secondly, I want to take you to my mate James. He's got a little surprise.
Ah, I like
Come
surprises.
Should we get the whacker out first?
I think we'd better throw that out or it'll...
throw us out.
It'll interfere with the gear change, I think.
I think that's the last that we'll be seeing of that. But time now to road test our latest acquisition. And the good news is, it's as much fun as I thought it would be. It handles nicely, the gears are smooth, and with the new tyres that Peter fitted, it hugs the road.
Oh, it's really great just being outdoors. It's like a comfortable tractor.
I was going to say, it's kind of like a great big motorbike.
It's rattle-free, hey? I'm quite surprised at that, it's quite nice.
It's all rolling along nicely when Sam utters the fateful words.
Hey, there's only one way to find out if it's got teething troubles.
Drive it.
Get out, break down.
And then it breaks down. Sam immediately opens the bonnet, trying to figure out what's going on. I'm so depressed, I consider a new career in dry stone walling. But the engine whisperer, as usual, saves the day. The fuel line is blocked and needs to be cleaned out. At least we're not doing this under fire. Hey? Do you know what I mean, mate? Because I tell you what, I'd have run off to the nearest wall.
I'll tell you what else.
Sam, get on. Are you all right there, mate? Keep blowing, keep blowing.
I'd have done this job a bit quicker under fire, I think.
10 minutes later, we're back on the road, and 2 hours after setting out, we reach my mate James's house. Will you take a look at that, son? Hey? Here's the man himself. Hey, James.
Hi, Henry.
How are you, mate?
You good?
James is a self-confessed Jeep anorak and the proud owner of a bona fide World War II survivor.
This was found in a barn in Normandy in a poor state, so we brought it back and had it restored.
James's Jeep has all the necessary accessories. A .30 caliber Browning machine gun, an M1 carbine, and a siren that would raise the dead. But what does James think about turning our Tangerine Dream US Army green?
I don't know why you would want to necessarily make it into a military vehicle.
Sam, for once, however, is on my side.
I'm actually with you, and I think we should just paint it army green. I don't care whether it was or whether it should be. I'm a bit of a believer in just having the fun you want to have with whatever you own.
Yeah, right. I think we should. And never listen to James. Back at Coal Towers, Sam's straight under the bonnet to check the fuel lines.
Yeah, that was blocked. Because there's some kind of...
Oh, residue.
You know what? It's just a bit of grass or something.
It's an animal. So that would be enough to stop it.
That was it. Well, that's enough to get sort of build up in the pipe, and then any dust that comes through gets stuck round that.
Job done. Sam's next task is to get the bodywork ready for painting. He welds up no less than 80 holes and grinds off any unnecessary adornments. Meanwhile, I practice my Father Christmas act. How's it going, baby?
Good.
My presents for the Jeep include seats, lamps, and more brackets than an A-level maths exam. The next stage, prepping and painting, is all down to Daz the painter and his mates. They strip it, blast it, and then spray it NATO green. Then, once all the accessories are back on, it comes back home with Daddy. Hey! And very good afternoon, sir.
You right, Sergeant Carroll?
What do you think, man? I'm General Patton, and this has been sprayed.
Generally patinaed. It's mean, it's green, it's lean.
Look at it. That is a transformation. With the addition of a few more accessories, the Jeep is almost perfect. But only when we add the final touch does my dream become a reality.
These are not stickers, but stencils.
Working with stencils isn't easy. First of all, you have to align them, and then you have to peel off the backing paper. And then you have to mask the whole area off, though not necessarily your co-workers' hands.
Right, just don't go anywhere.
Only then can you start spraying. The acrylic paint takes about half an hour to dry, and then we're ready for our latest big reveal.
Yes, fantastic.
Man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Hey! 5 stencils later, it's all done. So, what we've got now is something that's eminently saleable, hopefully. But before we do that, we might just get ourselves a convoy. And away we go, D-Day for our Willis Jeep as the invasion of Oxfordshire begins. At the rear, we've got Johnny, the legendary drummer from Status Quo, in a French Simca V8. In the middle, there's James in his Normandy Jeep, the Thunderbolt. And roaring out in front, me and Sam in our civilian special. Lock up your grandmas, the old boys are back in town. That wasn't in the plan. James's Thunderbolt has been, extinguished. Ready? Hang on. That's very good, mate. That's the way to do it. You see, much as we were going to do a beauty shot, we're actually now showing you what Willis Jeeps are used for in the field, huh? That's the way it should be. While Sam sorts out James's Jeep, I admire Johnny's Simca.
Great bit of kit.
Thank God you had a tow and everything, basically.
And an ollie rag.
Mate,
I don't have that with my drums, but an ollie rag in your truck's handy.
what do you think of ours then?
It didn't break down in the Ford, so it must be good. Yeah, no, it's a great looking car.
Hey, look, anyone fancy a cup of tea?
I think it'll be lovely.
I've just seemed to have got one just right here. We bought our Jeep for £5 and spent 3 doing it up, but it looks so good, it's worth a lot more now. If it was retail,
Yeah,
12 grand,
yeah,
which would make us a profit of 4.
that would be fantastic.
But I think we might be selling it trade.
Trade?
To me, I want to keep it, I'm sorry. I like those
Hang
people,
on.
I want to hang out with them more.
8, 12, 4 by 2. Sure, 2 grand.
Can I take you out for perhaps some walnut cake or something like that? I'm Henry Cole, and this is my great mate, Sam Lovegrove. We both have a lifelong passion for motorcycling. We love all forms of classic machinery, and we're on a mission to scour the country for the vintage treasures that are lying dead in the nation's sheds. We're going to buy them, fix them up, and sell them for hopefully a tidy profit. Welcome to Shed and Buried. Coming up, in a Cornish idyll, I find a classic British bike. I love what I do. You come into a shed and you find something like that. And Charlie Borman's very own suit of armour.
Ewan, do you fancy coming for a ride somewhere, perhaps round, you know, world and that?
Well, welcome to Shed and Buried. We're in Cornwall this time, as is often the case. But Sam's got some new wheels, haven't you, darling?
I have.
Well, tell us more. Ranchero!
It's my new 59 Ranchero.
I'm feeling like a Las Vegas hood. We're off to visit Terry English, one of Sam's more exotic mates. Now, Terry's actually a legend in his chosen profession, isn't he?
He is. He's a legend in the world of film. Producing mainly armour.
Armour's not that high on my shopping list, but apparently there's a lot more to his sheds.
He loves to collect things. Cars,
Yeah.
the odd motorcycle,
Yeah.
and the trinkets of mechanical interest and greatness.
Oh, I'm excited already, mate. Hey?
So,
I'm excited in a sort of aura of turquoise blue.
I think we're there. You ready?
Yeah, mate, ready?
Yeah.
I'm born ready when it comes to a shed like this. Come on then. Oh, wow. I'm getting excited. Yeah, come on.
Hello, Terry.
Terry, how are you, mate? Lovely to see you.
Good to meet you.
Do you know what? I'm sure I've met you before in the sense of I may not have done physically, but in sort of, you know, the viral world of television and stuff like that. You are quite a legend in your career, aren't you, really?
That kind of makes me feel really old.
I mean, you've done legendary movies like Excalibur and all that kind of stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. Excalibur, First Night. I mean, I go back to the days of Dr. Zhivago was one of my first films.
Oh,
I made all
really?
the buttons and badges and
Did
swords for that, yeah. I've got Sean Connery's armour and Richard Gere's armour and different stuff,
really?
yeah.
Now, look, we'll go off and have a look about, see if there's anything that we fancy, and then hopefully have a bit of a haggle. Thank you so much, mate, for letting us have a little rummage around here. Really lovely to meet you. And, well, look, we'll go that way, shall we?
Yeah.
I can see a shed yonder.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, mate, we'll see you later. What a shed. Check this place out.
Great, isn't it?
Terry's first outbuilding looks more like an alpine chalet than a shed, but what lies beyond the green door? Inside, there are model planes.
Think it'll fly?
Not in that current state, probably.
It's got compression.
Mini bikes. That, in a shed, is something really nice, in my view. And looking at the back, something that we both like the look of. An Excelsior talisman. Mate, this is lovely.
It's nice, isn't it? Little Excelsior, 90-odd cc.
Oh, yeah.
From the 1940s, I guess. Little Girder Fort one.
Do you know what? It must be age, OK? Because in my 20s and things, I was only interested in anything sort of north of 500cc. And as I get older, I love the little bikes.
Yeah.
Because actually, riding along, you're just in touch with the road, man, with them. Excelsior was one of Britain's first bike manufacturers, though it was never really a big player. The Talisman was its attempt to break into the post-war market for cheap and cheerful small-engine bikes. Though this Talisman's a little rough and ready, it's as charming as its name suggests. Well, how long have we been here? 2 minutes?
Yeah, right.
Man,
We've already
there
found something
go.
we like.
We've always got something to bid on already.
Yeah, great.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We've arranged to meet Terry in his next hut, but it's more of a showcase than a shed, filled with models and film props he's collected over the years. Hey, look, tell me about that submarine.
It's a model that was made by some good friends of mine out in Hollywood. The original one was built by Disney for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
The radio-controlled biplane is another scale replica, handmade for the movies. Sam reckons he can fly that no problem.
Here we go. They fly nice and slowly, biplanes.
I don't think I'd want to risk that somewhere.
You see, thank you very much, Terry. That is a work of art. You don't want to be giving it the Douglas Bader with the remote controls, do you, mate? It's just, you're just going to go into a hedge. It's great to see all this, but movie memorabilia is way outside my flogging zone. So time now to head for the bike sheds, or to be more precise, Terry's garage, where, tucked away behind his Sunbeam sports car, there's a thing of great beauty. A Triumph Speed Twin. Oh, that's lovely.
Rigid sprung hub.
Sorry,
all
mate.
iron.
I'm sorry. OK, I'm just having a moment, all right?
Yeah, good.
OK? Because, you know, I blooming love I love what I do. You come into a shed and you find something like that.
Yeah.
Eh? Doesn't that just do something to you?
It's the right colour, the right model.
It's the right condition, right everything. The Triumph Speed Twin is 500cc's of British biking bliss. First built in 1938, it was hugely popular and stayed in production until the mid-60s. Is that what it's called? Amaranth Red?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you could just... That could be your daily ride as well, couldn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Eh?
A really nice... To me, the Triumph Parallel Twin at this moment, the 500 all irons,
Yeah.
twin, that was the sweet one. That was the one that you could do really high mileage with without wearing it out.
I mean, there's not a lot we can do to that, if you see what I mean, for us. But, you know, to add to a little collection... No, I mustn't.
Oh, no, I think definitely. We'll pester him.
If the Triumph is perfection on 2 wheels, then the sports car at the front is the 4-wheel equivalent, a 1950s Sunbeam Alpine.
These things did really well in competition. They were ahead of their time mechanically. They had really modern suspension, really good, independent suspension on the front, and quite good brakes.
Beautiful
Yeah, they're
thing.
quite a car to drive. They were originally, a genuine 120 mile an hour car.
And talking of beautiful but dangerous things, time now to see Terry's armour. I'm excited. Oh, blimey, O'Reilly! Terry?
Yeah.
So this is your handiwork? After 50 years in the business, Terry has amassed more armour than a chieftain tank. Who's the geezer there?
That's actually Russell Crowe. That's a life cast.
Is it? All right, Russ, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Looking rather miserable.
He's looking grumpy, but Russell Crowe's sort of known for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Terry's heavy metal couture has clothed everyone from Sinead O'Connor to the cast of Aliens. He's even made one for me old sparring partner, Charlie Ballperson. Sorry, that was made for Charlie Borman.
Yeah, when he was 10, I think.
Not, I thought it was last Tuesday. Really? That was for Charlie Borman?
Yeah, yeah.
Ewan, do you fancy coming for a ride somewhere? Perhaps round, world and that.
Next door, there's Terry's workshop, where he builds all his props. He's got more hammers than Thor, and more talent than Britain's got. I'm a great believer, Terry, right, that the most wonderful things in history have come out of a shed.
Yeah, absolutely true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure Van Gogh had a shed, eh?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Van Gogh, on the other hand, died penniless, so rather than follow his example, we need to get back on the hunt for a tidy profit. Onwards and shedwards. Oh, mate, that looks lovely. Now, this is something. Just keep wrestling with the tarpaulin, son. This little something is nothing less than a little grey Fergie, the quintessential British tractor. The TE20, to give it its official name, was first manufactured in 1946. Over the next decade, hundreds of thousands were produced. I want to try and get in if I can.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
come in.
Oh,
Shelter
mate,
from the
hey,
storm. You're struggling there. You're not very good at this, are you? I reckon it was brand new restoration. It's not done any mileage since. Just
been left.
yeah,
Yeah.
much better than some of the ones we've seen in hedges.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not really in a hedge, is it? It's more in a sort of framed tarpaulin
Oh,
experience.
do you think this is part of the tractor? Is this the sort of driver's enclosure?
We might be able to drive it out with
Rain protection.
the all-weather gear on it, mate. With or without the rain gear, this might just be an option for us if Terry will sell it at the right price, and if we can't find something even more wonderful. Coming up, Sam falls in love with Terry's little engine.
It'd be lovely to take it home for a couple £100.
But our movie maestro turns out to be a stubborn haggler. I'd go for £900 for that.
No. Can we meet in the middle?
We're down in Cornwall with movie business legend Terry English. We've been revved up by his motorbikes. I'm sorry, OK, I'm just having a moment, all right?
Yeah, good.
OK. Charmed by his armour. So this is your handiwork. And tripped up by his tractor.
Struggling there. You're not very good at this, are you?
We've already found some great things to bid on, but Terry has promised us one last treat. Come on then, Sammy, what's that?
Little Norman, little boat motor.
Norman Engineering was a Leamington-based manufacturer who specialised in boat motors and stationary engines.
350, 300cc, flat twin, side valve, 4-stroke.
With compression.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like it goes, doesn't it?
How much is something like that worth?
It'd be lovely to take it home for a couple £100.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's in really good nick. It's got a little base for it as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Could be more valuable, but would have to do homework.
Well, stick it on the list.
Come on then.
Right.
Lovely, lovely. And talking of lists, it's about time we made one. 12-speed twin.
Yes, I like that a lot.
I'll bid him 6 for it.
Yeah, give it
Yeah?
a go. Yeah.
Try 5.5. Excelsior. I'd start him at 650.
I'd start lower than that.
Would you?
Yeah. You know, 5. I don't think I'd want to give as much as 650.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that.
Really?
Yeah. OK, now more importantly, the thing that I'd really like to take away,
Yeah.
even though...
Is it big, is it grey?
It's big and it's grey, baby, and it's beautiful.
I think it was really nicely restored, never used, looking at the pips on the tyres.
Yeah.
It's just dilapidated itself a bit.
It's just stayed there, mate, hasn't
yeah,
it?
so I
know.
think it would be an easy thing to bring back.
All right, well, I'm going to sort of start around 900 quid for that.
Yeah, 900 quid would be a no-brainer for that
Yeah.
for me.
I mean, if we could pull that off anything less than 1100, I'll be happy. Come on, let's go see Terry.
Yeah, cool.
We've had a fantastic day. Is it about to get even better? Well, let's talk turkey, mate. You've got a lovely Triumph Speed Twin in your garage.
Yep.
Would that be available? Yeah.
No, it's not for sale.
OK, mate. Oh, not a good start. So, will we get the Excelsior for 500 quid?
Probably too much for you at 1,000.
No, we won't then. Let's talk grey Fergie.
Yes.
What would you want for that?
I suppose I'm looking at about 12.
I'd go for 900 quid for that.
No. Can we meet in the middle? Straight 1,000. It's worth it.
I'll give you 1,050 with the engine, the little Norman engine.
No, 1,000 for the tractor, that's it. Yeah.
What I
You got a deal.
Yeah, nice one, Terry. Are you happy with that?
I'm not, because I would like to have kept it.
Yeah,
but you can't keep everything.
Terry,
Yeah.
thank you so
Okay,
much,
it's-
mate. Look,
It's
brilliant.
been an absolute pleasure.
Lovely stuff, hey?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Really
Really
And I
good.
have
Thank
to
you very
tell you,
much.
A lot
Terry,
of fun.
today is a day I'll remember forever. That Fergie I really do think is a bargain. 1,000 quid for a little bit of agricultural history, most of which has already been restored. 3 days later, when it's dropped off in the paddock, it doesn't look quite so good. The ignition's kaput and the exhaust's exhausted. It just goes to show, though, what happens if you have a mint restored tractor and then you leave it in a lean-to for how long was it?
Well, he said he'd had it 4 or 5 years, but I think when we looked at the paperwork, it's 9.
Time passes when you're enjoying yourself, doesn't it?
Time passes fast when you're composting tractors.
A good moment, I think, to nip down to the shops to get some spare parts. So, look, if you made a list then,
Yeah,
you have, haven't you?
I know what we need, yeah.
Right, well, we're going to Patrick's then, are we?
Yep, let's go get some bits.
Let's go get bits. We're off to Patrick Edwards's place, the finest tractor emporium known to man, or at least the closest one to my house. Derek,
Good
mate.
afternoon, sir.
how are we?
Oh, we're wonderfully well.
Good. I think Sam might have got a list. Have you got the list? I'm in his hat. 10 minutes later, I've got a new solenoid, a new exhaust, a new ignition switch, and a new bill to pay off. So the one bit of advice I would have is that if you are restoring a tractor of any kind, try and make it one that actually you can get spares for, because then it becomes a pleasure rather than a nightmare. Hey, mate, you know what I mean?
That's great.
Back at the ranch,
Are you exhausted?
because the paddock's so damp, we need to move the Fergie. Problem is, the ignition doesn't work. Or it would be a problem to anyone apart from the engine whisperer, or should I say, engine rustler. Sam's doing a little bit of work that he learnt when he was a youth, hot wiring a vehicle.
So I'm just going to short across the solenoid with the old screwdriver.
Okay. Yes! She flies!
That's all right.
Oh man, that's lovely. She sounds great. The next half hour is spent removing the old exhaust and working on the electrics. Sam tries to lighten the mood by turning the new exhaust pipe into a didgeridoo. Can you make different tunes, or it's just the one
No,
note?
it's just the one
Is that
tune.
it? Thanks, mate, for that. But for the most part, it's hard graft, rust, dust and backache.
This has got the posh option of a backlight
Oh, hello.
to illuminate it at night.
So we haven't got any headlights or anything, but we've got a backlight.
An
On the
illuminated
ammeter.
ammeter. So you can see where you're going by it.
Once the exhaust bolted on and the new solenoid and ignition fitted, it's time to go and see a man about a plough. With a maximum theoretical road speed of 20 miles an hour, she's not quite a Ferrari Testarossa, but then again, I'm not Ayrton Senna.
It is a nice tractor, but I thought we were going ploughing.
We are. This is a plough. She's definitely saleable, big styly,
Yeah.
but could we get more money by painting her?
If it was mine, I'd clean up the gearbox where the paint's flaking, the bracket under the seat and a few other areas where it's really rusty, and then just touch in the paint where it's really bad.
OK, so what we're saying basically is a sympathetic little bit of paint all in the right places.
I think so.
So that means drink up, drive off and get back on shift. It's all gone miserable and wet outside, so thank God for me lovely dry shed. First we rub the Fergie down, then we put on primer, then we get ready to paint. As the nickname suggests, most Ferguson TE20s were painted grey, but unlike the world's best-selling novel, they didn't come in 50 shades. And nor does owning a little grey Fergie spice up your love life, though I still live in hope. Sam's advice for painting one is similar to my top tips for lovemaking. Divide the bodywork into zones and get through each part quickly.
The paint dries quite fast.
Yep.
So if it dries on us whilst we're doing it, we end up with these horrible sort of smeary layers of paint and it gets really awful and the brush marks are obvious.
If we had loads of time and money, we could have had her sprayed, but that would have meant taking her apart first. And anyway, doing it by hand can give just as nice a finish, in theory.
And it's actually a bonus in this weather.
Is it?
Yeah, because this cold is slowing it down,
Right.
so you get a bit more time to level it out before it tacks off.
The only trouble is, though it may look all very simple, it ain't. And when your partner's a perfectionist, tension ensues. Is there a marked difference between mine and yours?
I'm unable to comment at this time.
He soon is commenting, though.
Look at these. I was unhappy with my side. Now I've just run out of ideas. I mean, we're going to stand in a field all day.
Yep.
Having old men come up and take about our paintwork, I think.
We won't tell them that we've painted it.
I
So we
think
bought it like this.
I think it'll be quite obvious that we painted it.
Because we've still got grey on our face.
No, just no one else would manage to achieve this finish.
Thanks, Sam. Who needs enemies when your friends tell it straight? 2 days later, the sun's shining, the paint's dry, and our newly finished Fergie is ready for its first outing. We're heading back to Patrick Edwards' place, but this time we're selling, not buying.
It don't get better than this, does it? Driving my tractor? Try and sell it? Why not?
Patrick Edwards' All Things Tractor Sale takes place in a field about 2 miles from my house, the perfect distance for a final ride out on my Fergie. There are dozens of stalls selling everything from spare parts to spare wheels and trailers full of trailers. It's all presided over by Patrick himself in his regulation blue overalls, and the crowds come in their droves. There are a couple of other tractors for sale, but nothing compares to our little grey Fergie. It's on offer for a mere 1,600 quid, and pretty soon it's pulling them in.
We already have two like this back home, actually.
I
Yes,
think
we
you
do.
should have a third, mate. Eh? I bet you haven't got one that's sort of painted like that.
No, certainly not like that. It's a better job.
Blame him for that, honestly.
I'll do 1,500.
I'll give you a grand for it.
Can't do a grand.
I think he might be thinking about it.
I think he's going to buy it.
Do you reckon?
No.
But you know someone who might.
I do demonstrations and offer test rides. And though I sell my butcher's bike,
Call it 100. Hey!
and acquire a Ferguson print.
That's a deal and a half, isn't it, man?
No one makes a decent offer on our Fergie.
The trouble is, there are too many out there on the market.
Do you know what? You're absolutely right, and I've realised this with grey Fergies. People have got too much choice.
Yep.
With the inevitability of a Greek tragedy, the thing that I fear most comes to pass. Patrick sidles over to peruse our unsold goods.
£750.
No, God, no, Patrick, no. I have genuinely been offered £1,000 for it and had to turn that away. Come on, Patrick. £1,250.
No, I look at tractors these days and I either want them or I don't want them, and this is what I'm looking at and I'm thinking I don't really want that.
OK, well, look, let's just wrap this up, shall we? The bottom line is that we can't agree. We spent £1,000 on this and then probably another couple £100 more. So it stands us in about £1,250, let's call it. Patrick's offering £750, and I'm determined on this one occasion not to lose my shirt.
So it's goodbye from him, goodbye from me, and back next year with her.
I'll have a good shifty around. I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously, he probably knows, or it'll come back to him, the lie of the land,
Sure it
even
will.
after a 30-year break or whatever.
It's an opportunity to put back what you nicked when you were 5.
Oh, you noticed! That's why we brought the van. There's a whole van load of it.
The first field is not so much shed and buried as blown and battered. There's a pre-loved Mahindra Jeep with one careful owner.
I think that might have had a slightly checkered past.
And a Citroën ZX with permanent air conditioning.
The French, you know, they knew how to build, didn't they? Look at the quality of that.
When Sam spots a flock of Austin A30 Spud cars, he goes into overdrive.
This one is an A35 because it's got a big rear window.
Oh, OK.
And that one's an A40, the first Farina bodied. So it's a newer era of design. Very much more the sort of foreign European sort of following.
And has to be dragged mid-rant towards the first shed.
Oh, right, come on then.
This is quite funny because it's the reveal with a peep.
You can just see through the slabs. Yeah, go on.
Sam's peep show doesn't immediately deliver the goods. There are odds.
What's that at the back?
I think that's Reliant.
It looks as though it was made by a small child.
Sods.
Which way should we be going?
Going, it's full of rainwater and old sump oil.
And more opportunities for Sam to get all sentimental.
Hey, this is weird.
What?
Well, I remember this shed.
Do you?
Yeah, and really interestingly,
Yeah.
I don't think any of this stuff has moved or changed.
And then, shrouded in years of dust and darkness, we find something rather interesting.
So that's a Ford what, mate?
It's a little Ford Popular. I don't know whether it was perhaps a van converted to a station wagon or a real station wagon.
The Ford Popular was a no-frills budget car for the masses. Though cheap and cheerful, they were cool enough to later develop a cult following.
I can just see the beauty of something like this. I know I go on about
yeah?
Spudley cars.
Oh, great, you get
I
it.
can't, look, you know, the Louvre is here. You know, it's just, I can see it.
This thing's got every accessory available and a lot more. I mean, this funky aerial and all these little extra bits of trim and like a badge
look,
bar and
badge bar.
spotlights.
The pop might be worth a punt, but I doubt Martin will let it go. Things are looking up, though. Onwards and next shedwards.
Dog's first one in. What we got? Ah,
Mate, that's
fine.
nice. Should we get it out? Rexy!
The BSA Bantam was one of the biggest selling British bikes of the post-war years. Based on a pre-war German design, its success turned BSA into Britain's biggest bike manufacturer. In the cold light of day, this particular Bantam is not quite cock of the walk. The kickstart's missing, the headlight might as well be, and the engine doesn't look good either.
I guess if it's cheap enough, we can give it a punt.
Yeah, but it's got to be a couple £100.
Let's see what else we can find.
Yeah, I think so.
Through this wall, I've had a tip-off.
What?
Well, Martin says we're going in this way.
What? It's a corrugated... Is this your secret hole?
After you, sir.
Oh my God.
The end point of Sam's secret hole is not quite Wonderland, though I wouldn't be surprised to find a few rabbits in here.
What's that?
This is a tractor.
Well, that's right, son.
Huh.
Do you know what, mate? I think it might be a thing called a president.
This odd little tractor is a B&B President. Originally, B&B made motorboats, hence the initials, but eventually this innovative British company ended up building everything from miniature cars to vans and starter-level tractors.
Oh, mate, this is funky. Hang on. There is some actual... You can get some purchase, not much.
This looks like it was a real, you know, economy model, real budget thing.
Gearbox seems nicely lubricated, son.
Bit exhausting, isn't it?
That is exhausting.
Though badged a B&B, many of the parts are from elsewhere. The engines are Ford, and so is the steering wheel, so replacements are not too hard to find.
I've always wanted to drive a president. To distraction.
I've always wanted to set a precedent.
Hey, that's the one, son. I think something like this, if it's up and running, and we take it to an agricultural tractor day, is eminently sellable. Basically, if we just cleaned it down, yeah, got it going nicely, as you always do, put some new boots on the front. Hey, look, mate, we're halfway there. Good, okay.
Give it a go.
Punt. Potential punt.
Yeah.
Good. Come on, Rexy.
Our shopping list is growing, and there are 2 more sheds to go.
Oh, you'll like this.
Oh, mate. Oh, my God.
This shed alone could be worth the trip. Memorable memorabilia, lovely old British cars, a Triumph bathtub bike, and a swarm of scooters. Now, normally they're not my cup of cappuccino, but Sam spots something rather special.
So look, like a pair of bookends. Zundapp Bella. They're very high quality, pressed metal enclosed form of 2-wheeled mobility transportation.
Just say it, Sam, they're scooters. The Zundapp Bella was, as the advert says, the queen of motor scooters. Built in Germany in the early 1950s, the 200cc model could get your shopping bags up to a staggering 75 miles an hour.
Don't try and sell this to me. It's a scooter.
I wasn't going to try and sell this to you. I thought I might try and buy it with you.
OK, all right. So, is there a market for these wasps?
Yes. Massive. These are really, really collectible. They fetch £3,000 or £4,000 restored.
Do they?
Yeah, and they weren't mass-produced as cheaply as your Vespas and Lambrettas. I don't like scooters, but I've had one of these, and I'm sort of mildly impressed with them, just because of the engineering and the quality, basically.
That one's cleaner.
In fact, that one's very nice.
This one's lovely. I mean, as scooters go.
Oh, you said, there you go. It's lovely, isn't it?
Well, I've never even sat on one.
See, look, John Avery Limited, Oxford, original dealer badge.
And this is your little hook to put your little handbag on.
Yeah.
Isn't it, really? Handbag, yeah?
I'm still not convinced that me and scooters aren't a little like oil and milk and best kept separate, but Sam's adamant that they're both rare and collectible.
Open your mind.
I'm opening. It'll probably be that it's the one bike that gets my wife into motorcycling.
Exactly.
So that could be a positive, couldn't it?
Good value.
I might actually be able to take her on the back of the bike.
And on that note, time to move on and get some tea and bromide. After a shaky start in both senses of the word, we've been blown over by Martin's sheds, and there's one more to go. Coming up, we get excited about Wallace and Gromit's van.
It's even the right colour, isn't it?
But our own Gromit plays it cool. Welcome back to Shed and Buried. We're down in Cornwall, being blown over by Martin's memorabilia.
This isn't windy. This is just average.
We found tractors, station wagons, and Sam's favourite, rare German scooters.
Don't try and sell this to me, it's a scooter.
I was going to try and sell this to you. I thought I might try and buy it with you.
There's one more shed to check out. Let's hope it's a good one.
This is the Austin Counties division. Somerset Devon A30.
The Devon was Austin's first post-war saloon. The public snapped up almost 500,000 of them. The Somerset, its successor, came in both saloon and coupe versions. But the car that really catches our eye is Wallace and Gromit's favourite, the Austin A30.
It's even the right colour, isn't it? Yeah. That's great. They're really rare because they all rotted. They were all used really hard and then fell apart really quickly as a consequence.
Samuel?
Yeah?
I think we've seen far too much. I think we need to make a few decisions. You're making the tea, I'm sitting in your van. Come on then, look, we've seen a lot of lovely stuff. Martin's an adorable geezer, Diana's just lovely. But we need to come away with a trinket to remember them by.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than just a trinket out there.
OK, President Tractor.
Yeah, so it looks, mechanically, it gets my tick of approval.
I reckon 600-700 quid. I think we can turn it on that.
Next, the little BSA Bantam.
I think we'd both agree that thing has seen better days. I bid him 200 quid for it. I need you to say the next word, because I don't think I can bring myself to say it. I'll give you a clue. It begins with
Zundapp!
The black one, if we did as a kind of Zundapp rat, I quite like that. So basically, we're going to have to bid him around the 600 to 700 quid on it.
Yeah, I think we're safe there.
So without more ado, let's get into the fray. To buy or not to buy, that is the question.
We've had a lovely time today. The wind has been howling, but the joy has been emerging in our hearts a great deal, hasn't it?
Fantastically.
Firstly, can we talk about tractors? Now, that President Tractor, what would you be looking at for that, Martin? Give me a vague idea.
About 900 quid-ish.
Ouch, that's 300 more than I want to pay. The Bantam?
I don't particularly want to sell it.
I can't say I'm heartbroken, but we need to come away with something.
Now, look, the other thing is Sam, I don't know whether I could bring, go on then.
Zundapp Bella.
Zundapp Bella.
I really like it. I know the quality of that product. They were quite well built.
Yes.
The rattier one, the black one, on that, what would you be looking for, a round figure kind of sort of thingy on that, do you reckon?
Somewhere approaching a thou.
I'd bid you 600 quid for it.
No, sorry.
Would there be a counter bid?
850 on the Zundapp.
825?
825?
Go on.
Hey.
Go on.
Thank you so much. Am I allowed to kiss you? Thank you.
As we head on back to Oxford, I'm still not entirely convinced about the Zundapp. A good price maybe, but a scooter in my shed. Next I'll be taking up crochet.
My problem with it is it just reminds me of people in really tight shorts on beaches. It's bubblegum reality to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to learn to love it.
The worst is we have to find a base for it and somewhere to put 20p in so it can go like that with some sort of jingly music, OK?
Yeah, OK. Let's just get in the shed.
That's easier said than done.
Oh, Zundapp!
If this is a foretaste of things to come, it's going to be a long day.
Look, mate, right, I want no hassle from you today.
Stage number 1 is to raise the bike up to a comfortable working position and, dressed in the appropriate kit, take those all-important pre-restoration photos.
So we know what we've got to do first. Find the engine.
Yeah, that could be interesting. It's down there somewhere.
Sam does the honours with the socket set, and then the moment arrives for the big reveal.
Now, be prepared for some shorts and ice cream cones to come out. All right?
Look at that.
Is that it?
In its naked state, the Zundapp don't look too good. Rusty bolts, ripped air filter, and the general demeanour of a big mistake.
It's immaculate, this thing, isn't it?
Isn't it really beautiful?
I've got to tell you, we've bought an absolute peach there, haven't we?
Yeah.
The good news is the gears seem okay and the tyres look as if they could hold air, but that's about it.
So Martin did warn us that the bike might actually be seized. His view was put a bit of diesel down it and hit the piston with a piece of wood. That might well be the remedy, but probably unlikely.
Before we can hit the piston, we need to remove the cylinder head, but it doesn't want to budge. The solution is to cook it and then beat it.
Hey!
Bingo! Yes! That's great!
So that just shows that didn't really take any effort with the heat.
No, it didn't at all, man.
No. So it was well worth heating it rather than abusing it.
Yeah, which I would have done.
The barrel below is a little dirty, but there's no sign of damage. The big new problem, though, is the piston. It's at the bottom of the barrel and is stuck fast. Over the next half hour, we try every trick in the book. More oil, more blows, and more bits of wood. But all we get is more frustration. The only answer is to park the Zundapp, slather the piston with every lubricant known to man, and wait. 3 days later, we're back.
I've been under expressed instructions not to hit the piston while I'm doing the soaking. And I haven't done it, I promise.
And I've brought a secret weapon.
Have you?
Piece of oak.
Oh, I like that.
Once inside, we apply a little more heat. And then Sam gets out his hammer and his magic wand. And hey, presto.
Hey!
No, really?
Look, feel that, it's dropped. A couple of millimetre.
Getting it out all the way requires more banging than a Metallica drum solo, but eventually we get a result.
Yeah, that'll be the piston then.
Probably don't want to do that, ideally.
Right, let's have a good looky. How long have we waited to have a good look at this?
The piston rings are all gummed up and need to be replaced, but the piston itself looks like it might just be usable.
Hey, look, man, we're halfway there, as they say in the trade, aren't we?
Yeah.
Huh? There is life in the Zundapp yet.
Once the piston has been cleaned up and the rings are replaced, Sam flushes out the carburettor, checks the electronic ignition and fits a new petrol tank with the aid of a not quite original bungee cord. Then finally, it's the moment of truth.
Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Go! Hey! Samuel! There's smoke!
Smoke in the tea!
That's unbelievable! He runs!
It's taken us far longer than we ever envisaged, but Sam's faith in the Zundapp has been rewarded. It may be more of a ruster than a Bella, but it runs.
Hey! We have a running motorcycle. The key, though, when I go and get my shorts on, is do we have a riding one?
Now you might say nice legs, shame about the scooter, but apart from the fact that it's smoking like a 40-a-day man, the Zundapp is a blast to ride, and so far it's putting Sam's little Honda to shame.
You're looking sharp! Hang on, did I say sharp? What I meant was...
No, Sam, don't go there.
I've got to tell you, it's a bit parky, mate, but I wanted to experience the whole Zundapp Bella thing. I'll tell you what, that is fantastic.
And I reckon we'll sell it for good money, mate.
I think so, it's a good thing.
Now, look, though, we're going to go and see a man now who might just buy it, but he does happen to have 20 others.
Or to be more precise, about 23 in various states of restoration and disrepair. Meet Brian Crook, a man who lives, breathes, rides and repairs Zundapps all day long, the perfect punter for our lovingly restored rat scooter.
All right?
That is fantastic.
Come on then, mate. I'm feeling in the mood for a sail. Morning! It wasn't very difficult, Brian, was it, to really identify where we should be?
Well, I thought it'd be a good sign.
Brian and his mates keep their bikes in tip-top condition. But as my first girlfriend used to say, everyone likes a bit of rough now and then, especially a nice little runner like ours.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, that was just a practice, mate. Practice.
It's got fuel.
Why does it always happen to me like that?
Yes!
It's exhausting through the front.
Admittedly, once it turns over, it's more like a crop duster than a fully restored bike. But you can see Brian and his mates are impressed.
Can I tell you what I want for it? 1350.
1,000.
I can't go grand.
Try again.
1250.
11, and I'm shaking your hands.
No, it's got to be north of 11.
1150.
11.20, and we're shaking hands.
Heard about it up this way.
Just to make it
11.25,
like, yeah.
and we'll shake hands now. We're done.
Cheers, Brian.
So we bought it in Cornwall, restored it in the Cotswolds and sold it in Preston. What a journey.
We have made £300.
Yeah.
So it feels quite good, that, doesn't it? And I tell you what, the motto of the story is, if you've got 23 Zundapp Bellas, it'll be churlish.
I'm Henry Cole, and this is my great mate, Sam Lovegrove. We both have a lifelong passion for motorcycling. We love all forms of classic machinery, and we're on a mission to scour the country for the vintage treasures that are lying dead in the nation's sheds. We're going to buy them, fix them up, and sell them for hopefully a tidy profit. Welcome to Shed and Buried. Coming up, in East Sussex, I tried to get into stock car racing.
It's a bit different than getting into a Ferrari.
And Sam finds something alarming. Welcome back to Shed and Buried.
Today, we are heading off to Heathfield, isn't it? That area down here in East Sussex, right? And we're going to a bloke called Chris's. Neither Sam or I know too much about Chris. I've kind of spoken to him on the telephone, obviously, but that's about it, mate.
We have some mutual interests.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Like?
I think he quite likes American cars.
Okay, all right, okay.
Are we going to come away with a 70s Cadillac convertible with cow horns on it?
Yeah! Hang on, slow down. The sat-nav says right here.
Oh, yeah?
Just here.
Right here?
Change yourself down a cog.
In here?
In there. There it is. Get in there,
cool.
mate. Lovely.
The broken down bus is not too inspiring, but if the blue Ford Mustang is a taste of things to come, bring it on.
Chris.
Hello,
I'm
Henry.
Hello, mate. How are you? This is Sammy.
All right.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Sam.
to meet you.
Chris, this is great. Now, look, so, I mean, there's American stuff out here. Is that your poison?
Oh, I love it. It's like a bad disease.
Now, look, the gig is normally, we'll have a shifty round, if that's all right.
Yeah, no.
And then, you know, hopefully we might find a few things that we like. Is everything for sale, or should we just work it out later?
Yeah, we'll work it out later. I'm sure we can do something.
Okay, mate, all right. I think we should go through there to start. Can we head off that way?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I've seen something over there.
Excellent. No, look, just shake him by the hand and come with me.
All right.
All right? Okay, I know you. Chris, we'll see you in a bit, all
See you
right?
in a bit.
Chris's first shed is the Americana Fest we both imagined. Cars, pickups, and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. The first bike that really grabs our attention is an absolute classic, a 1940s Indian Chief.
This is what we're buying.
Are we? Because I'm right up for that. Is that an Indian?
You're paying for it for
Am
me.
I? I don't care. For the right price. Do you think I might? Do you think Chris will let me sit on it?
It's beautiful. It's a Chief.
Oh my God, it's lovely. I've always wanted to own one of these and never have.
Indian is one of the most famous motorbike brands in America, and the Indian Chief, its most iconic bike. First produced in 1922, it stayed in production until 1953, when the original company folded.
Isn't that a lovely thing, though?
Yeah, really good.
What is that, 750?
No, it's big CC one, so it's 1,000 or 1,200, 1,000 cc.
The Chevy pickup next to it is another classic American vehicle.
This is probably the most desirable shape, and this is the last year of that shape, so it had a more modern grille. No split windscreen, so first year of the curved windscreen.
There's so many fascinating things in this shed that it's impossible to mooch about without seeing something that takes your fancy.
That one there in front of us, I know, could be worth 80 quid, could be worth 800. Have you not got enough tin jugs yet?
I've got Bibby. I've got one about that size, exactly the same.
Yeah.
I think it needs a daddy.
Is there a bit of grit in it?
Yeah, it's had a bit of wear.
Even though this World War II siren would be great for warning of incoming traffic wardens, there are two more American icons that we can't miss. First, this Indian three-wheeler.
This is actually a dispatch tow. It's a very specific thing.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of multi-purpose workshop mechanics vehicle, you know. So you drive out to a customer's house, say, you know, while they're at work, you've had a phone call, their car's broken.
Yeah.
You've got all your tools on board.
Yeah.
If you manage to fix the car or get it so it'll just limp back to the workshop, you clamp this to the back bumper. It becomes a trailer behind the car.
Oh, OK, so you drive the car...
Yeah, you drive the car.
Towing this?
Towing this.
Gosh, you learn something every day, don't you?
The second American Dreammobile is less useful but just as desirable.
Oh, blimey.
The Chevrolet Corvette is a quintessential American sports car. First introduced in 1952 to take on European brands like Alfa and MG, it was so successful that it's still in production today.
Even I can understand what that is, if you see what I mean. I mean, how lovely that is.
It's in great condition.
Yeah, it's mint.
With fiberglass body and a huge V8 engine, the fastest models could get from 0 to 60 in just over 6.5 seconds.
Now, to me, right, these early Corvettes, you know, surely they're the ones.
I think this has probably become the iconic Corvette. This is the one for me, the wrap-round screen, and also, you know, that white with a red interior. It's just...
Do you know what I mean? That really works.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing wrong with this car is the price. In this good nick, they can go for over 80 grand, so we need to find something that won't give my bank manager a heart attack. Time to pop outside.
What the heck is that?
It's a 1940 Ford.
But not any old 1940 Ford. This one's been stripped out for stock car racing.
I must just say to you right now, I don't care what you say, I'm not
You're
buying
buying
that.
it.
I'm not buying that.
You don't care what I'm saying, you're
that.
having it.
No, we're not having it. How'd you get in it?
See, it suits you. I can see
It
you
doesn't suit me.
picking the kids up from the school in this.
The dashboard could do with a bit more walnut and the gear stick a bit more leather, but I guess stock cars are an acquired taste.
Is there a market for this kind of stuff?
Well, interestingly, there's a great market for this as a more traditional hot rod.
OK, so you would buy this, but we're not buying it to put back on the road?
Yeah, what we should do is definitely turn it into a historic hot rod.
Much more my bag, and something we could even make some money on is the Citroën H-Type van, parked a few metres away.
Now, I've always hankered to sell cappuccinos from a thing like this. Would you sell cappuccinos with me?
No. I'd be at home building the van.
But you wouldn't be selling it?
No way, couldn't be bothered, not interested, wouldn't get out of bed.
I quite like the idea of, you know, a coffee machine, you know, in the back of that.
I'd like to see how long that novelty lasted.
Well, no, I quite like it because, you know, it would be a deal every 15 minutes, hopefully.
You got your barter over
Yeah, we go
coffee.
£1.50 to you, son. Oh, but the other guy's was £1. No, I know, but I don't like your hair. Here, have that. Do you want chocolate on it?
Though this one has seen better days, it would probably fetch upwards of 15 grand. So it's still un peu très expensivo pour moi, especially if Sam doesn't share the dream. So can we find something we both like under the tarp?
Okay, ready for the reveal?
Oh, look at that. It's getting better by the foot. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, no, that's really good.
This rat rod is not quite first date, well, unless you're taking out Mad Max's sister.
Oh, look at the steering wheel. That's ultimate rat rod. Man, I love the pipes.
But apart from die-hard aficionados, would anyone want to buy it?
It's not an SPQR, mate. Small profit, quick return.
No.
Oh, no. That's probably minimal profit, probably lots of passion over 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting involved, you probably might sort of lose a couple of marriages as well along the way because you're in the shed so much. Should we put the tarp back?
Yeah, why not?
I like it.
Great to see, though.
So some fantastic things to look at, but without committing really big bucks. What are we going to buy? Coming up, I sink to new lows.
What's wrong with that? Huh?
And Sam's bowled over by a classic hat.
The Pillsbury Doughboy! That's what you look like.
We're down in East Sussex at Chris Ricks's place, where we've been thrilled by his bikes.
Always wanted to own one of these and never have.
Smitten by his stock cars.
Oh, look at that.
And fallen in love with his jugs.
Yeah. I think it needs a daddy.
We're still not quite sure what we're going to buy, but there's one more shed to go.
Ah, so I know what that is straight away.
Do you? I don't.
Austin A40 Devon.
Oh, God, so it's a sort of kind of British version of a Chevy Stepside.
Yeah.
The Austin A40 was a hugely popular post-war car. Most of them were built as saloons, but Austin also produced a range of commercial vehicles. This one's a great example, but it's a bit too spuddy and niche for me, and I've seen something in the corner which is much more my style-y.
I know you're not going to like this, but I quite like it.
Oh, go away.
Mini motos or pocket bikes are really popular in the States and Japan, where they race them on go-kart tracks.
I think that's great. What's wrong with that?
Sam, on the other hand, prefers his toys and his hats a little bit more old-fashioned, like this pond yacht.
That I'd actually like to take with us.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do you think we can flog that?
Yeah.
Is there actually some...
A couple of bits, but we could make the rigging that's missing. It's fine.
Quite a lot of hard work, though, for
No,
not...
I think that's a great thing.
The item we both like has equal nostalgia value, a rare Scottish racing bike.
Oh, the Scott Cycles, Murray Street, Glasgow.
I mean, the lugs are, you know, quite nice. A little bit of sort of arrowhead, you know.
Yeah, I think it's 60 quid's worth of bike.
Yeah,
isn't it?
same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 20 quid to us, son.
Yeah.
But before we buy anything, it's time for a tea bag and a chin wag.
Okay, let's just have a quick look through then, shall we? It's weird because there's big ticket items.
Yep.
And there's lovely, smally, little ticket items that I think could be an awful lot of fun. Indian Chief.
Indian Chief is fantastic. I've always wanted one. £18,000, a no-brainer.
I was going to say, I bet you it starts with a 2.
Yes, but low 20s.
It's big money in it.
Yeah.
At the other end of the scale, we've both been smitten by the Scott bicycle and the pond yacht. But could Sam learn to love the mini moto?
Please, mini moto could be funny.
Not funny in my world, just a horrible piece of tacky Chinese internet purchase throwaway tat.
You don't like it then?
No.
So he came looking for American iron, but might go home with some British balsa and just possibly some Chinese junk of the road-going variety.
All right.
Yeah, let's see what we can go get, eh?
We know what
Chris,
we're doing.
we're coming at you massive with our Nevada mugs. let's just start with your glorious Indian Chief motorcycle. Would that ever be for sale, and if so, how much?
Possibly, but I'd probably want about the 20,000 mark for it.
Just what we thought. My heart wants it, but so would the bailiffs when it bankrupted me. So what about the boat?
And how much would you want for that, do you reckon?
£50.
The Flying Scot?
I probably would want about 100 for it.
And the,
Now, behind me is something that Sam absolutely hates with a passion.
It's going to be really dear, isn't it?
£50.
Could I bid you 150 the lot?
Probably 175.
160 with the bowler hat.
Put it on for Chris.
Doesn't quite fit me, but it's a sort of pond yachting hat, isn't it?
What did we say, 165 with the hat?
175 with the hat.
170, and I'm taking my glove off.
172.
Oh, go on, 175. 175, mate. Happy days.
Hey, it's not going in my van.
I could ride it home.
Do it.
So not what we expected at all, but another great day and lots to take back to the mother shed.
That's what you call, mate, an eclectic mix, isn't it?
Very.
The mini moto and the pond yacht are unlikely to be big earners. But there's some interesting news on the Scot. Neither of us know too much about it, but our resident bike guru, Guy, has been doing a bit of digging.
I've had a sneaky peek at this.
Yeah, I thought you might have done. Come on then,
and
come round, come round.
Researching because I was a bit confused by it.
Like us, when Guy first saw the bike, he thought it must be 1970s because of the gear set, but in fact, they're not original.
I did quite a lot of research, and I found out from the frame number that's under there, which is 7G, that G for these is, well, they started on A in 51, so it means it's a 57, not a 70s. It's 1957, and the 7 means it was the 7th one off the production line that year.
The dents on the 1970s gear set bring the value down a bit, but 1950s aluminium bikes are both rare and collectible. What we thought would sell for 60 or 70 quid could get at least 200.
The best bet is to probably just get it rideable in a good condition and then let someone else who wants to restore it do it. That's what I would do.
So that settles it. We'll let Guy take the bike next door and tidy it up, while we get going on the other two. Both the mini moto and the yacht are basically clean-up jobs. The mini moto needs a bit of spit, polish and compressed air, and the yacht needs paint, elbow grease and patience. After half an hour, I've rubbed the mini moto more times than Aladdin rubbed his lamp, and the genie still hasn't appeared, so after topping it up with a little two-stroke, the time has come to start it up.
Do it.
A teenage mate of mine used to say that if I bought one of these, I'd definitely pull. Now I know what he means.
Tell me when to stop.
The problem is the fuel line's kinked, the carburettor's tiny and the whole thing is built around an engine that usually powers a leaf blower. Great purchase, Henry.
Holy mother!
Restoring the yacht is a lot quieter and a lot more time-consuming. First Sam preps it and paints it, while I take a well-earned rest. Next day, when the paintwork is dry, he adds some accessories that he's prepared earlier.
Oh, I say, now then, what a protuberance that is.
So, made a mast.
There's a main mast, a boom, a miniature rudder and a beautifully crafted tiller.
That is craftsmanship in my view.
The next thing to do is to fit the sail and start on the rigging.
Rings, as in rigging illustration, must be placed along the luff of the jib for the jib stay to pass through.
Of course.
Do you get that at all?
No.
Even though Sam's manual is to plain speaking what Attila the Hun was to diplomacy, he's not too fazed by it. 10 minutes later, it's showtime.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? That's quite a moment, look.
That's really cool, man. You've set sail.
There's still some work to be done on the rigging, but once again, Sam proves himself to be a master of all trades. A few days ago, this was an unloved curio, abandoned in a shed. Now it's a proud pond yacht, fully rigged, fully crewed and ready to sail. But before Sam introduces me to the genteel sport of pond yachting, it's time to get down and get dirty on a real racetrack.
1, 2, 3, go!
And we're off! I'm on the Pekingese powerhouse. Lovegrove's on my son's Ducati replica. And we're both going.
I'm glad you're having difficulties.
Absolutely nowhere. Oh dear, take 2. This time the bikes have been primed. Sam takes an early lead. And he's in pole position on the turn. But I bring it home on the straight. The maiden voyage of Sam's pond yacht is altogether different. The venue is Holwell, a quintessential Cotswold village, and the perfect place to go pond yachting.
Now look, right, when I was about 8 years old, I used to sail my little yacht, which I still have. So Sam's got a big one, and I've got Bibbit. Look at that.
Sam's 36-inch mast makes my humble yacht look even more like a minnow. But as an old girlfriend from Devon used to say, it ain't the size of your mast that matters, it's how you push off.
Yep, not there.
That looks better.
Better, but still not best.
This pond may look great, but it's shallower than a Justin Bieber song, and about as windy as the doldrums.
Oh no, he's seen what he's done with his feet.
Most boats like to sail into the wind. Sam's boat sails into the weeds.
Mate,
when I launch my own, it zooms ahead, then grinds to a halt.
Should we get the tea on? I think we should.
For one brief moment, my yacht catches a breeze and threatens to sail off into the sunset, but the excitement is short-lived. So all in all, it's more slow trawl than fast net, but what a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. Sun sail and soggy feet.
Cheers.
Well, here's the yachting.
Our final outing of the day is altogether more satisfying. Guy's cleaned and prepped the Scot, and the good news is, it flies. Compared to Sam's steel-framed Rally, the Scot weighs nothing and handles like a dream. And to add to our triple whammy of joy, Guy's even found a buyer. Meet Anthony, a friend of a friend, in need of a bike.
It's a massive upgrade on the one I've got at the moment.
But do you like it?
I really like it, yeah.
Do you really?
I do.
Can I tell you how much I want for it?
Go on.
I want 250 quid for it.
250?
Oh no, here we go.
I mean, no, I do really like it. I want to take it off your hands, but 180?
Oh my God, I
come
can't
on.
begin with a 1, mate. 225.
Call it 200. Get the 2 in there. Thank you very much.
Okay, so look, Anthony is well chuffed for 200 quid with the Flying Scot. That means we've made a little profit. Shh, don't. Okay, 25 quid profit, but we've still got the pond yacht and the mini moto to flog, which we might do a couple of months. We've got a lot of playing to do with them first.
I'm Henry Cole, and this is my great mate, Sam Lovegrove. We both have a lifelong passion for motorcycling. We love all forms of classic machinery, and we're on a mission to scour the country for the vintage treasures that are lying dead in the nation's sheds. We're going to buy them, fix them up, and sell them for hopefully a tidy profit. Welcome to Shed and Buried. Coming up, in a Cornish idyll, I find an American dream car. What's that? And a new flame to light my fire.
Yeah, you do the technical inspection, I'll do the fun inspection. Well, welcome to Shed and Buried. Today, we're in the West Country. Sniffing out another shed, ain't we, Samuel? Yep, what are we sniffing today? Motorbikes?
Amongst other things, yes. Cars?
Would there be a tractor involved at all?
I can't remember.
We're off to see Peter Bullan in deepest Cornwall. The weather's lovely, the joy is flowing, and it's gonna be a great day.
Blimey! Ah, is that the sunshine? Or have I reached heaven?
Bit of both.
St. Peter! Are there any sheds up here? Do you have anything for sale?
He might not have a petrol can.
No.
But he might have something suitable for containing one's spirit.
Oh, I love your humour. Yeah. Oh.
So we've got a day out in the country looking for shed heaven, or at least its earthly incarnation, in one of my favourite counties, Bliss.
Peter? Hello, Henry. How are you, mate?
Oh,
lovely to see
not
you.
so bad, not so bad.
And you two kind of
Nice
know
to see
each
you.
other, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey?
Only a
Sort
little
of.
bit, yeah.
Peter, how long have you been here? It's lovely.
Oh, 25 years or so.
Have you?
Yeah. When we bought the place, it was completely derelict. There was a herd of cows in the downstairs.
Really? So
yeah,
you basically restored the house?
Oh, yeah, from nothing. Yeah, there was no garden or anything. It was just a derelict house in the corner of a field, really.
I've seen the odd cat going around.
Got about 60 on a good day, yeah.
What?
My other half does cat rescue, so...
Does she?
Yeah.
God, blimey, really?
Better than having kids.
Hey, Peter, look, so what we do, OK, obviously Sam and I'd have a shifty about,
yeah.
and I'm sure we'll find a couple of things we might be interested in.
By all means.
And then at the end, we'll have a little bit of a haggle.
I'm just glad that somebody else is interested in junk. I'm not the only one.
So where should we start, mate? Anywhere?
What about down in that corner?
Oh! No, you won't like this. It's not Reliant Robin enough for you.
It's only shed one, but what a find! Hidden under a camouflage green awning, a 1950s Willis Jeep. It's not quite mint, but it's tasty nonetheless.
Is this military or a domestic one, civilian one?
I can see some green paint, and I think it's military, but it's post-war.
The Willis Jeep is an all-American classic, built for the US Army. All told, Willis built 363,000 Jeeps during World War II, and thousands more afterwards, for both military and the civilian markets. They're highly collectible.
But, you know, even in bad condition, I'd see them $5 grand.
Really? Think that, do you?
Yeah, really.
Well, I know it makes a serious difference in price as to whether they were wartime or post-war.
Absolutely, and this is post-war.
This is post-war. I mean, a wartime one with some sort of association with some kind of war experience or unit. I mean, I've seen them for £12,000–14,000.
So the cat hasn't quite got the cream with this particular Jeep because it's 1950s, but if we could get it for a few grand, happy days.
Well, leave the Willis alone. Hey, pretty cat.
Look, if there's a Jeep in the first one, what's
Come on,
in the
then.
second one?
We love a container, don't we? Eh? Come on, you can do it, Samuel.
Oh,
Oh, my word.
that's not a Jeep.
Cool. What's that?
This is a pristine Pontiac Le Mans, what the Yanks would call a compact car, and we would call a roomy sports tourer.
I'll tell you what, if you like red and you like American iron, you found heaven here.
Early 60s models like this are really rare, and in this good condition are undoubtedly out of our budget.
God, it's lovely.
I don't remember seeing one in England.
Really?
Yeah.
For you to say that, there can't be any around. I love it. I guarantee it won't be for sale.
I like it.
Yeah, so do I. I love it.
But for us to turn a profit, we need to find something to restore, not to drool over. And fortunately, round the corner, there's a little something that might fit the bill without costing the earth. This is a Greaves motocross outfit with a hand-built sidecar. It's been through the wars, but come out alive, just about.
Hop on, mate, hop on.
This is motorcycling for two, isn't it?
I think I've got to spend most of my time like that, haven't I?
Either like that or over the other way. No, not like that. We're going to fall over if you do that. That's bad.
What engine should have gone in that then, that isn't there anymore?
Originally they had Villiers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but especially when an outfit, people put all sorts in them. Triumph motors are common.
Oh, what, a sort of 350 or something?
Yeah, yeah, 500.
Is that flame damage?
Yeah, not too bad though. That was weird, isn't it? It's got a bit close to the old hearth.
Blimey,
But
how
the
did that
paint
happen?
isn't burnt off. I don't know, I'll have to ask him.
No, but the bars and things look as though they've been near
Yeah.
something rather warm. Mate, I can't... Do you know what I mean?
I quite like
This could be
it.
a bit of a giggle, couldn't it? Huh?
Whether 341 turns out to be our lucky number remains to be seen, but the good news is refreshments are on the way.
Sue's here with a tea. Hey, how fantastic. Tea up, Sam, come on.
Not only are the sheds fantastic, but so's the hospitality.
Sue, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Yes. Tea in a shed, man. Life don't get much better. Come on then. Hey, look, mate. We're in the trials department.
This is Pete's inner sanctum, where he keeps and maintains his precious collection of trials bikes. He'd never sell any of these, but lurking at the back of the shed, there's something a little more basic. This is a hand-built trials car designed to be ridden over obstacle courses and rough terrain.
Some of them were from plans and some of them were from kits. If you look at this, look at the nice aluminium bulkhead, look at the timber frame. It's really nicely made.
Like the Greaves outside, this one's currently engineless, but it could be a great little project.
It needs a fair amount of work, but most of it's there, hey?
If there's one thing for sure, mate, we've never done a trials car.
No, I quite like it.
But then again, we've never done a Willis.
And just outside the shed, I've spotted another Willis Jeep. This time it's a civilian model, but it looks much more roadworthy.
God, mate, this is good. This is sound.
But in quite good nick.
Huh? Oh, God.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's had a bit of welding here and there.
Haven't we all, love? Hey, Sam, I can see myself here, mate.
I'm sure you can.
Couldn't I? Just,
If you get excited, I'll do a technical inspection.
Yeah, you do the technical inspection, I'll do the fun inspection.
The wheels are wrong, but the front end looks good. It's already got a UK number plate, and if the gods are willing, it might even start.
Okay, here we go.
Flat battery. But
Yeah, but at the same time, things engage, don't they?
It's got life.
Hey, it does have life.
Yeah, nice.
How cool is this? Huh?
The colour scheme is kind of unusual.
It was blue at some point, it was black at some point, it was yellow at some point.
Hey, look, you know, that's called patina.
Despite the engine not starting, under the bonnet it all seems okay.
There's at least a starter motor under it.
Oh, yeah, look,
look
that
at
looks good.
This one's got an alternator on it, like modern convenience.
So could this be the one?
You know, for the right price, I reckon we should return it to the right wheels.
Paint it green.
Bit of greenery. Daz could do a lovely job on that.
Yeah.
Put the old American star on it. Call it quits. Hey?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Perhaps too much.
So what a day. We've seen American iron, sidecars, trials cars, and a pair of Jeeps. Which one we'll get, I don't know, but the fun ain't over yet. Coming up, Sam checks my car knowledge.
I bet you can tell me what that is.
It's a Dello.
Very, very well read, sir.
And Pete proves a tough nut to tighten.
Is that available? I don't think I would really want to part with that.
Welcome back to Shed and Buried. We're in Cornwall hanging out with Pete Bullan and his flock of cats. We've been teased by his Jeeps.
No, you won't like this. It's not Reliant Robin enough for you.
amazed by his sports cars.
I tell you what, if you like red and you like American iron, you found heaven here.
And unbalanced by his sidecar.
Either like that or over the other way. No, not like that.
And there's one more shed to go.
Is this the last shed?
It's the tidiest looking shed as well.
Come on then.
Is it full of cats?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out. Oh, wow.
That ain't a cat.
That ain't a cat. That's something lovely.
I bet you can tell me what that is.
It's a Dello.
Very, very well read, sir.
Dello was a small British firm from the 1950s which specialised in trials cars.
Started off using Austin 7 chassis,
Uh-huh.
and then really weirdly went to building their own chassis out of bazooka missile launch tubes.
You're joking.
Oh, look. This is a bazooka tube chassis. Lightweight, heat-treated, high-quality tubing.
Perfect.
And continuing the military theme, there's an Enfield Bullet over in the corner, prepped for trials riding.
So Enfield, you know, like most manufacturers of the day, made their own competition trials machines. Look at the engine plates, completely different. You know, narrower hoop on the back.
God, that's sweet, but worth a lot of money.
Unlike the tarmac whacker behind it, which is neither sweet nor valuable.
Would we be able to sell that? Is this people who collect old road-making machinery?
There's only one way we'd find that out.
Hey, look, should we go and have tea and reflect? So come on then, let's start with Willis Jeeps.
The first one was probably slightly more desirable, being a military model.
Yep.
But it does require quite a lot of work.
But the orange one is a civilian model. But if we kind of resprayed it, perhaps, we can make it look well cool.
Yeah, and drive it.
And drive it.
We'll start at $4,500. The other cool bit of kit is the sidecar combination.
I love that little thing. We could have a complete hoop with it. And I guess if we got it into a trim that could be competitive for someone who owns it after us,
yeah,
then they'll hopefully be paying good money for it.
If we can get it for $1,500, it'll be worth a punt, unless we buy the Royal Enfield.
Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah.
Again, I think we could sell that all day long. Oh, mate, look, there's so much stuff. Should we just put ourselves out of our misery and go see Pete? Peter, before we start a haggle, I've got to tell you, man, we found some lovely things here today. Let's just talk, firstly, the trials outfit outside there. Now, look, as a project, how much would that be, do you think?
Probably would be worth a couple of £1,000.
Okay.
Really. You know.
Okay.
Ouch, that's a bit steep for a dry roasted bike, even if he throws in an engine. So what about the Enfield?
Is that available?
I don't think I would really want to part with that.
Okay.
So it's going to have to be the Jeep.
Now, the one in the shed, how much would you be looking for that one?
As it stands now, 3,500.
And the orange one that seems to us to be a runner, but perhaps a little bit more civilian-ish.
5,000.
This one is much more expensive than the military Jeep, but there's a lot less work to do on it, and we can always repaint it.
I would love it to be starting with a 4.
That would be less than I paid for it before I restored it.
4,750 wouldn't buy it?
I don't think so.
Would there be a situation I paid you £5,000 for that Jeep, but you threw in the whacker?
Possibly. Yes, possibly.
£5,000 it is with a whacker. I'm taking the glove off. Mate, joy of joys, thank you so much. I better get a checkbook.
Go on then.
Chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh Tô Tranh của mình. Hôm nay mọi người cùng mình hoàn thành bức tranh mình xếp tên rồi. Mọi người chờ đến xem mình sẽ cái bức tranh như thế nào nhé. Hả? Cháu có vô được rồi á? Uống thuốc? À, cho uống thuốc rồi á? Thế uống thuốc xong khỏi chưa? Khỏi ốm chưa? Đây, cho cả con này. Đây, cho cả cái con to to này uống đi. Khỏi chưa? Khỏi chưa? Uống thuốc mắt mồm thôi. Rồi, thuốc rồi. Để cô. Để cô uống thuốc.
Khỏi rồi, cô khỏi rồi.
Sữa chua uống thuốc không? Hỏi mẹ uống không? Hỏi mẹ uống thuốc không? Sữa chua bón cơm cho chó đi. Bón cơm cho chó đi. Chó đâu rồi? Đấy, trứng đâu rồi? Cho chó ăn trứng đi. Nhâm. Cho con ong ăn nữa. Cho con ong, về con thỏ ăn nữa. Con thỏ chưa được ăn. Con thỏ kêu đói. No chưa? Sữa chua hỏi mấy con ý no chưa? No rồi. No thì lại phải đi ngủ tiếp. Sữa chua ngủ hay mấy con đấy ngủ? Sữa chua ngủ. Chắc sữa chua ngủ. Thôi trên tôm xanh.
Về đi đái đi.
Cho lên màu cam.
Từ bánh đi sẽ tôi làm màu đỏ. Ui giời.
Không sao.
Con chó đâu? Ủa, cái tim con chó.
Đi vào bảo con chó thơm cho một cái là khỏi.
Bảo chó thơm. Đâu con chó đâu rồi? Con chó đâu rồi? Đâu rồi? Con chó đâu?
Chó màu vàng đi kìa. Chó màu vàng này. Cạnh quả trứng.
Đấy con ong.
Đấy, để nó thơm.
Con ong
đấy.
đi.
Phải thơm ở bên đau chứ thơm bên không đau à? Được rồi đấy. Khỏi chưa?
Hết rồi. Thì uống thuốc nhé. Uống thuốc cho hết đau nhé. Thuốc đâu rồi?
Bây giờ mình đã hoàn thành xong bức tranh của
Uống thuốc cho hết đau
của mình.